Okay, let's go through FOD's video here because I've done this like 100 times because people keep coming up with this bullshit and taking things out of context. So I'm going to go through it one more time. Now, let's go to this right here. Now, note the date right here. This is just a few days after my son got arrested for murder. Just a couple days, right? And then this is me responding to somebody that came to my page, right? They came to my page and was, you see that I have, this is the profile. I have Jesus right here with Braden. And somebody came to my page to harass me for something that my son did that I had nothing to do with. I divorced her when he was 12 years old. He showed no signs of mental illness, no nothing. This is somebody posting to me about what my son, she didn't show the whole thing. Now, right up above this is where somebody came to my page, and they were posting on there about what a bitch my son was and how they were going to do this and that to him in prison and everything else, and how he had done it before. Because he was arrested in 2015 because Braden came up with a fracture on the back of his head. But since he had been around so many different people, they couldn't pin it on him. They also questioned one of Braden's aunts. He also would come up with like burns and stuff on him and stuff like that. But Luke was only around him for about 10 minutes, so they had to release him. But anyway, somebody came to my page up before this, and they were just talking shit about my son. And this is just a few days after this happened, right? So, of course, we all knew each other. Of course, right? And then somebody was calling him a bitch right here, and I said, well, Kelsey had a court order that said that Luke wasn't supposed to be around him, right? And CPS even knew. If you go look at the story, just look it up, because I put all this out here before. CPS knew that he was living in the home, and they didn't do anything about it. So did all these other people, right? Even I knew he was living there. Everybody knew he was living there, including mother. And they were talking about, right before this, they were talking about, well, he did it before. And I said, obviously, they didn't have the evidence last time, and he was released. That's a true statement, right? But let's move on here, because I want to respond to this. All right, she's calling this online harassment, but she's not showing that people coming to my page commenting to me about what they want done to my son. I don't want to hear that shit. I'm not going to listen to that shit. Go to my page. That's what they did. Now, this person right here, they call this online harassment, right? Because another one came to one of my pages right up here before this. And this was actually one of the Ferguson family members that I used to date, right? That I used to see on the side, right? And note that this is just a few days after he was arrested on February the 16th, right? And she came to my page and was running her mouth, right? So, of course, I gave it back to her. And all this stuff right here is absolutely true. This was somebody I had in their family that I had a fling with. But they're on my page. This is one of my pages. And I don't use this as an alias. I actually had a Facebook page with my first name on it and my middle name on it, which is Eric, right? But FOD wanted to go ahead and dox that, so I'll let you know that her husband's name is Joe. Since we're going to dox names, right? Because this is not my YouTube name. That's a dox. Okay? This Tarina that deleted her comment, her name was Tarina. All right? She told me she never trusted a damn thing. See, I'm talking. This is Helen Ferguson came to my page and was talking about, they were on my page talking shit. And I've already addressed this. Right? And all this right here is absolutely true. When I broke it off with this woman, right? Because I was married and she was married and we were cheating. She came to where I was working at and came back there with a crowbar, and we had to call the police on her because I broke it off with her. That's absolutely true, but that's not me harassing somebody. That's me arguing with somebody. Let's move along. I don't know what she's talking about here. It says one of Bryan's sons. That's not one of Bryan's sons. That's a picture of my son Luke. That's the picture of my son Luke in that profile picture. My son Luke who went to jail. Picture. That's not one of Bryan's sons. That's me saying that to one of my ex-flings that was a Ferguson family member who came to my page talking shit to me. That's not one of Bryan's sons. That's actually me. See the name? Let's move on here. I'm gonna address every bit of this because I've done this so many times with people they don't have nothing else. Yeah, because all right, I wish one of these mouthy motherfuckers would come to me and say something to me out of line, which they don't say nothing to me, right? They would come to my page and say shit about what they want done to my son, and I don't want to hear that every day. I'm not gonna listen to it. And even my profile here, still has Jesus holding Braden. But these people were harassing. We all knew each other, and we were all fighting, and that's the way I felt. Right? They keep on sending. They were sending me messages. They were sending my sister messages up in where she lives at. My other sister, my dad, my little sister. They were messaging all of us, and I got tired of hearing it about. Look, take it up with Luke. He's the one that did it, and that's exactly what I said. These messages right here are absolutely 100% true. So I'll address that, but that's not me messaging them. That's me on my own page because they would come to my page. They would come to my Facebook page and drop off little. I got a whole bunch of them if you want to go through this again. But I'm not willing to dig up a child who lost his life for the sake of a Facebook or a YouTube argument. I'm not willing to do that. But I will respond to myself. But I've already shown all of this stuff. I've already shown all of this, what they were saying to me, how they were messing with Nicole, who had absolutely nothing to do with it. She didn't say nothing. All she did was support me through a tough time because my son was about to go to prison for murder. They were messing with her. But I can show it if you want me to. If we keep on going on, I mean, I could rehash this almost 5 years old stuff. But yeah, this was said. Yeah, okay. There's somebody come to this is my page, right? And remember, this is, I don't know what you're talking about, the group, the St. John's of Dayton. And I'm telling someone, you are not in a group, you are on my personal profile. This is my personal page that they came to, right? They came to my personal page and continued. What do you want me to say to them? Oh, I feel so sorry when they're telling me they hope my son gets fucked in the ass. They hope somebody kills him. But constantly, every day, posting pictures of him everywhere and then coming to my page. They would come to my page, right? So, of course, I fought back with them. Kelsey is the murdered child's mother. I wonder, Kelsey Martin, because she came to my page. Was my son's dick so good oh, it was Chelsea. It was her sister Chelsea that came to my page. Was my son's dick so good for Kelsey that she would violate a court order? What's more important to you, kids or a 10-inch dick? Now, what's the fixation? Because they kept coming to my page as if like my son did do something wrong, but she knew he wasn't supposed to be there. And I can show you the court order. I've already posted it. Tracy saw it. The court order was that he was not supposed to be in that house with Braden. The court order expired the day Braden died. Kelsey knew that court order was in place. But since he was making good money and taking care of her, she wasn't worried about that court order. And she would leave Luke all the time with Braden, constantly. CSB knew he was there. There's a write-up in the Dayton Daily News about that. So when they come to, look, it says it right here, and you're not in a group, you are on my personal profile. People see, Full On Drama is not showing you what these people are saying to me, right? So if you're going to come to my profile and talk about how shitty my son is, which he is, but I don't want to hear it every day. We're grieving too at this time. This is only a few days after he died, right? So I don't want the people coming to my page talking shit. What am I supposed to do? Coddle them when they're talking shit to me as if I picked up the phone one day and say, hey, Luke, why don't you go kill that baby? I had nothing to do with that and didn't want him dead. None of you guys know Braden. I did. Let's move on here. I'm going to address this goofy bitch. This is again when they're coming to they're in my personal messages here. They're messaging me shit that I don't want to hear. So I would give them back shit like this. And I am proud of my sons. Right? He was not found guilty at that point. And this right here where it said, now this dumbass, she's an idiot. I'm going to move on up a little right here. Okay, she says Ryan is Brian's son who murdered the child, right? Here's where I said, at least part of Luke, we never called him Ryan. His name was Ryan Lucas. At least part of Luke was able to attend the funeral thanks to Ryan. Why would I call him Luke here and then Ryan there? Ryan is actually the name of her sister's boyfriend, Ryan Kennard. And Luke had an extensive collection of clothing. And when they took him to jail, all her family was wearing his clothes, his American Fighter stuff, his Nikes, his Gucci stuff, all his stuff. He had really nice clothes. He was a drug dealer. Luke was a drug dealer, and he made a lot of money. And he took care of Kelsey. That's why she violated the court order. But they took all his clothes, right? And the Ryan wore one of Luke's outfits to the funeral. At least part of Luke was able to attend the funeral thanks to Ryan. But dumbass here says Ryan is Brian's son who murdered the child. No, Ryan is not. His name is Ryan Lucas, but I'm talking about Ryan Kennard. That's what was meant by that. But she's an idiot, so she's gonna take it twisted. But let's just move on here. Now, let's go on right here. I don't use my middle name as an alias. That is my middle name. It's not an alias. Lee. See, Full On Drama's name is Renee Lee Ladner. Right? And sometimes she uses the name Lee. But since we're doxing things here, let's just go ahead and do it the right way. Now, this picture here. You notice you saw the Eric St. John profile before, right? This is a picture that TNT made. And she said that she made this up. Just out of the blue, they're saying that I would make that. That is Braden. TNT came on Marshall White Sharkies and admitted that these screenshots right here that you see are fake. Because this is not what I said, and that's not what I did. However, I was arguing with that family when they would come to my page harassing me. Now, this I did not make. You've seen the profile picture before was with my son, Luke. Okay? This picture I did not make. This picture I did not create. That is not my caption. And Trish, already admitted to it. TNT is friends with that family. She already came on there and said, yep, they were all made up. Marshall White Shark can verify that. That's not something I made. I did not do that. Now, she's calling me a doxer while she's giving out names and stuff here, you know, my middle name and stuff like that isn't available. Miss Renee Lee Ladner. So you want to play these games with me? You know, I've been through all this before. But you could take a few little screenshots of my responses to people that are coming to my page to harass me during a time when two families are fighting and grieving over the murder of a child to get your little insults out. You want to dig up a dead child to get your little insults out. The fact of the matter is, Full On Drama, you came to this community and you pretended that you were born as a male with a penis, and you weren't. Now, if you want to keep on and on and on messing with me like that, if you need me to send you a shovel so you can continue to dig up the body of Braden Ferguson so that you can have some kind of content to come back at me with, then I'll send you a shovel with your name on it. How about that? You're going to sit and put my middle name out there, right? And put my son's name out there, right? But then you call me a doxer. Nobody in this video or your video was doxxed. Nobody. But you guys want to use that word so loosely. But if you want to talk about my children, I'll talk about yours. Get to reporting. And you got all these people under there, which is fine. It's sad to see some of these comments that are under there. But you are taking things completely out of context. You weren't there. And God forbid that no one in your family or anyone's family does something this terrible. You got to remember, me and the Martins and the Bittners and the Fergusons, we were all friends when this happened. And it just happened, and there's nothing we can do to take it back. But I'm going to say this again. I'm pretty sure that Braden Ferguson's little 2-year-old life, wasn't taken and to be remembered in such a way that people like Full On Drama and TNT can dig him up to exact revenge on someone. That's not what his life was about. And, you know, people say, well, if he was a better parent, then maybe his child wouldn't have done that. Well, if Full On Drama was a better parent, maybe her kid wouldn't be autistic, right? Is that the same type of thing? No, because when you kill somebody, that's a mental illness. People who kill have mental illnesses, disorders. It's not the parent's fault. It's not Full On Drama's fault the way her child had turned out. It's not anyone's fault how their child turns out. My other kids aren't doing things like that. Luke got what he deserved, and then some. But I don't want to hear people coming at me telling me what they wish that they do to him in prison. If you want to reach him and tell him what you need to say to him, then it's available. It's all available there. So go ahead and say what you want to say. I don't care if you like this video or not. But if you want to start doxing me and doxing my middle name and talking about my kid and doxing Luke's name and doxing, we'll do that. But really, in this video or Full On Dramas, nobody's been doxed. But we can play this game if you'd like to. The fact of the matter is she's a sexual predator. And that's all she's ever going to be.